上就要来进到我们今天的国际论坛，而我们这个主题呢，就是从生医创新到我们的市场实践。Next, we will begin our international forum from biomedical innovation to market implementation. We will focus on how biomedical innovation can move beyond the lab, through the interdisciplinary collaboration and clinical validation and smart commercialization. 我们呢，这个主题呢，会聚焦在我们生医技术的研发成果，如何呢透过跨域的合作、商业的结合，以及呢转化成我们本次医疗商品的产品及服务。所以我们邀请到了许多国内外的贵宾，大家来到现场，跟着我们一起来讨论、分享呢他们在研发、临床跟市场拓展上的洞见。而这之前呢，我们待会会一一的来介绍我们今天来到现场的贵宾。Later we will to have introduced our 4 distinguished guests here, and you will make the introduction for everybody. 好，所以接下来时间呢，我们将一一的来欢迎我们今天在现场的4位讲者。先第一位，哇，来自波兰的 Łukasz Pawłowski 教授呢，他长期投入这个智慧医疗以及呢资讯系统的研发工作。那他的博士论文呢，不仅是荣获我们波兰材料科学研发的这个最佳博士论文奖，研发的这个智慧涂层技术，更有效的提升我们这个钛合金植入物的抗震性能以及材料的整合性。First, we are honored to have Professor Łukasz Pawłowski from Gdańsk University of Technology in Poland, and who focuses on smart healthcare and information system. He has developed an innovative antibacterial and integrated titanium implant coating technique, which can apply in intelligent implants and represent a significant contribution to the field.
Today we'll discuss the implementation of some medical applications into the industry, and my research is focused on surface application of some materials that can be intended for bone implant applications. Thank you very much.
印尼国家研究与创新署的 Andri Hardiansyah 教授，专注呢在我们生医感测器以及呢我们创新医疗科技的应用，并且呢研发这个多篇的研究论文，聚焦在奈米复合薄膜在抗菌或伤口愈合上面的应用，在跨领域整合技术上有非常深厚的实力。So next we have Professor Hardiansyah, who has been working on biomedical sensors and healthcare tech. He has published a lot of research. Their composite thin films, especially for antimicrobial use and wound healing, and also known for his great ability to integrate different technologies and ideas. So now let's welcome our Professor Andri. Hi.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andri Hardiansyah. As you can see, I graduated from National Taiwan University of Science and Technology. Many years ago, actually. So I'm happy to be here again, visit Taiwan again as my second hometown. So yeah, thank you.
再来第3位呢，是来自我们的 Big4 Bio 的首席商务官 Whelan 先生，他曾任呢我们的 Bioscience LA 执行长以及 New York Genome Center 的策略长，并且担任我们这个多项创业加速器以及学界的咨询委员，在我们这个 Big4 Bio 负责我们全球市场的拓展，以及呢建立我们的生技的资讯平台。Our third guest is Mr. Whelan, Chief Business Officer at Big4 Bio, and he previously served as the CEO of Bioscience LA and the Chief Strategy Officer at the New York Genome Center. And as a key feature in the various accelerator and advisor boards, he now has to drive the global growth of the Big4 Bio's biotech insights platform. So now welcome our Mr. Whelan. Welcome.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Great honor to be here. My second time ever in Taiwan. I am neither a scientist nor a physician, business person focused on life science innovation and building connectivity between Los Angeles, the rest of the US, rest of the world with Big4 Bio, which connects all the ecosystems in the US, as well as here to build some venture capital relationships and find ways to invest in Taiwanese companies and hopefully get them into the US. So honored to be here. Thank you.
那么接下来第4位呢，是我们的 Eventpedia 的执行长，我们的 TJ Sun 先生，他是呢 𝙎𝙥𝙚𝙚 的共同创办人，致力于结合这个活动科技教育平台，他所领导的 Eventpedia 平台呢，是我们全球大型会议来提供这个 App 跟我们的虚拟会议的解决方案，提升呢我们会议如果有400人以上，他们的会议参与度以及互动性广受好评。Our fourth guest is Mr. TJ Sun, President and CEO of Eventpedia. He's also the co-founder of the 𝙎𝙧𝙚𝙚 a pioneer in event tech solutions. His app is a virtual platform that has greatly enhanced attendees' engagement and global conference over 400 participants, earning widespread acclaim. 让我们欢迎我们的 Mr. TJ Sun. Welcome.
谢谢大家。Okay, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be here. And my name is TJ Sun, the President and CEO of Eventpedia. Wow, this is a vibrant community here. Really, first of all, I was born and raised in Taiwan, so actually,
You can speak Chinese.
I can speak Chinese, but I think everybody here understands English, right?
Yeah.
So with the guests here. So why am I the last one? Because I'm not really involved in the biomedical field, but a lot of the common philosophy about innovation or run a company, start a company, grow and build, right? That's the experience that I have. And another reason, the last one is look at their slides about their profiles. Half of what they put out, I don't understand what that is, all these terminologies, right? But I think they are all great experts in the industry and in the universities. You look at all I call them frenemies. If you know what I mean, frenemy is a word that's friends and enemies, right? So a lot of the group here, I think you collaborate in some way, and sometimes you also compete. But it's really amazing to see, all these booths and all the participants. And certainly want to thank Dr. Fang giving me this opportunity to actually get a chance to share my experience about. I wouldn't call it a startup because I'm a finished product. So I'm no longer needing money but already have a company and certainly a lot of experience I can share throughout the 15 years of owning the company. So thank you.
这是个跨域的合作，所以今天我们聚集不只是我们生意领域的，还有我们这个商业领域的，以及呢未来我们如何将这个商品来做商品化 commercialization 这个过程的。所以呢，接下来呢，我们将有请我们的方教授来带领我们这个论坛的时间。So the forum is moderated by the Professor 方旭伟，我们掌声欢迎我们的方老师，欢迎。
首先感谢其大家来到北科大的单位，我们第2次在生技展曝光，那希望把北科大很好的工程技术跟临床的实用也连接上来，所以近年来其实我们的 KPI 就是产出更多产品，跟衍生更多好的新公司。So I'm happy to have you all here today, and I think the purpose for our team is to help our researchers, our professors connecting to the market. So the philosophy we have is begin from with the end, all right, with the target defined, then we kind of plan out the path we need to go instead of doing something in the lab first and then find out the sales channels. So I would like to thank Taipei Tech for providing the resources and the environment these years. I've been here for like almost 23 years. I think the Graduate Institute of Biotechnology established that year when I came to service for Taipei Tech. And we are very happy after 22 years, and we have a lot of technology available, for the market. And I think the second year will be still early, but I think it will initiate, the passion of our professors become, entrepreneurs. So that's why we have professors here. Then we invite two entrepreneur mentors, to give us some comments. Well known as TSMC, I think right now nobody don't know TSMC, all right? And I find out Taiwan has become famous this year. So in these 2 to 3 years, we have a lot of requests from Europe, from America, and from the Middle East to see, okay, Professor Fang, can we have a chance to come to Taiwan to be an internship, graduate students or postdocs? All right, and so we always think about after TSMC, all right, can we have another industry, for example, the biotechnology, to be another very strong, industry? All right, we know from the pandemic, we know we have very good medical care. I think during the pandemic, Taiwanese have a very comfortable living. Almost the normal life. All right, and I also know a lot of like staff teams during the pandemic came to Taipei, all right, to do their like a prototype setup, and because we also have a very good manufacturing supply chain, all right, and also during the pandemic, my team developed several like a class 3 medical devices. We just got 2 of them, the license this year. So we are good in medical care, we are good in manufacturing, but we don't have any medical brand name yet. Okay. In terms of electronics, we may have like Asus, we have TSMC, but we don't have any brand name. What's the problem? I think maybe we can think about that. All right, we can learn some experience from TSMC. The 2 industries are quite different. All right. Sometimes I give an example. All right. You like iPhone, you pay for iPhone, you use it. But if you broke your legs, you were sent to the hospital. The doctor make the diagnosis, see, okay, you need to do a surgery, and healthcare pay for you. But the surgery was done on your body. All right, that's quite different system. So maybe I initiate this topic. Maybe Dave, I think do you have some insight for this, or give us some opinion, or how Taiwan can based on, I think those are good foundations, but how can we form the next TSMC? Yeah, probably you can give us some insight.
Perfect. Thank you. This is one of my favorite topics, and you teed it up really nicely with the semiconductor industry, because I think there's such a foundation to semiconductors, which are now powering AI, of course, and AI is impacting healthcare from start to finish, really, from the early stage research, building models for building new diagnostics, new therapeutics, into the delivery of care. And so I think that foundational piece is something that can really, Taiwan can leverage that, whether it's building products for the rest of the world or building products here that end up going to the rest of the world. But when I was speaking yesterday at an event, one of the points that I made, which actually was new to me and really exciting, is that Taiwan is actually #1 in the world for healthcare quality. So, #1 in Asia, #1 around the world. And so I think there's a real opportunity to leverage findings of how is healthcare delivered in Taiwan, and use those insights to be able to develop new technologies, new procedures that can ultimately impact the rest of the world. And so I think, hopefully there's an entrepreneur out there who's working on something that leverages semiconductors, leverages AI, leverages healthcare quality to build the next chapter.
All right, TJ, I think you always comment on a lot of social media, I know, yeah.
Well, I think you want to build a brand is really hard, right? So I think just like everybody, hey, I can build something, right? But if nobody has heard about you, it really means nothing, right? So when I started our company, I said, well, because we didn't start anything new, but I just feel like there's something we can do better, right? So I'm sure a lot of things, it's not just you have a brand new idea nobody has never come up with. I can guarantee you, whatever you're thinking about now, there are people working on it. right? It's the time to market, or what's your advantage, right? We call it the moat, right? I think certainly Taiwan's healthcare, right? Because I grew up here, right? Certainly when I left Taiwan, there was no 健保, right? So, but certainly this is one of the best, if not the best, right, in the whole world. I kind of want to joke about it, right? But people never hear about Taiwan's medical product. Maybe when you find somebody who is very famous, right, who got sick, and they use something, a surgery, a doctor use it, right? All of a sudden, this person say, wow, my gosh, my replacement knee works so well. And who did it? Okay, this doctor says, hey, I use this product from MP3 commercialization lab, right? Would that be nice? So I think it's really a complicated, because when you want to build a brand around the world, there are a lot of factors. In reality, just, in our technology software industry, it's certainly very different. But I feel like, definitely, I think Taiwan is already very well known now. I've been in the US for 37 years. It's a long time. And with everything going on around the world, Taiwan right now is really on top, right? In a lot of things, even tariffs, right? People look at, with our current administration, right? All of a sudden, Taiwan is very famous. This is on top of the list. People look at it. Japan just had a 15% and all that. So, Taiwan has been famous, maybe for some good, some bad. But I certainly believe we do have the technology. And I know everybody here works so hard. I've been in the US for so long. I can tell you why TSMC is successful. I've never heard about the Arizona plant. Trust me, right? Because I have a lot of friends, my classmates, growing up in universities. They all work for TSMC, right? Back in the early 90s, right? The best people in Taiwan go to two places. One is become doctors. One go to TSMC. I don't know about that now, but basically that's how it is, right? So we have the best engineers. And right now with the best supply chain, right? You can look at it. I also have to say, you look at China, their electric cars, right? That's what we call a moat, right? A moat is in Chinese called 护城河, right? Is what is your advantage over your competitor, right? I believe our moat is the people. In the end, it's people who make the company, it's people who make the product. So I believe it might take a little bit of time. And, I know Dr. Fang for 30 years, right? So I saw him from the student age now and his passion and his vision, right? I'm sure a lot of people here have the vision, right? But I think right now, focus on what you're good at, right? And if market has a need, and trust me, you'll be successful. So I always, certainly, maybe I digress a little bit, is whatever you do, you got to make sure there's a market. There's a market. So you got to know your product, every product, whether it's a software or it's a medical equipment, people need to use it. You need to solve a problem. So always, you need to come from the user side. Oh, I wish, my knee still not quite, it doesn't move very well. Your product need to solve problems, right? That's when you're going to be successful.
Thank you, TJ. And Andri, I think you have spent a long period of time in Taiwan before you went back to Indonesia. So maybe you can provide another new voice, right? From Indonesia. I mean, and you know about Taiwan, right? Okay, give us some.
Okay, thank you, Professor Fang. Yes, actually, I see a lot of difference when I first came to Taiwan, probably 13 years ago. And then I visit probably every year, come to Taiwan and this years. And probably the problems in Taiwan and in Indonesia are quite similar in respect with because I come from the research institute in Indonesia, and somehow the research we have been done in our institute is somehow didn't connect with what the market needs. So, in my opinion, I do agree. And actually, the Indonesian government right now doing like a top-down methods. The government sets the goals. See what kind of the problems in markets, and ask to the research institute and the university to solve the problems. If we are not connected with the industrial problems, so the research in the lab will just only research in the lab. Yes, it's very good for the publication or maybe for very good journals, but somehow the very good journal or very good innovation is didn't connect with what the industrial and market needs. So again, the focusing on what the industrial needs and the market needs is really important. So now, Indonesian government put the industry and the company's problem first and deliver to the researchers. Actually, in Indonesia, that's the situation right now. And I think if I see Taiwan knows, it's improved a lot. Yes, it's very popular with the semiconductors. Maybe in the future the biomaterials and biomedicals could be as improved as the semiconductors field, because I really see the strength and the strength of the biomedical things in Taiwan is very good at the biological and because my field also biomaterials, so I see a lot of improvement in the biomedical application in Taiwan.
Professor Pawłowski just came to Taiwan several days ago, and recently we started a international collaboration project with him. And maybe can you give us some comments or your observation from Europeans? Role, and I know you just came. Right, but I think at the beginning, you initiate the collaboration with my lab. What's the motivation? What was in your mind? Maybe you can share.
Yeah, I'm here for a couple of days right now, and I have some observations right now, because in Poland, the market of biomedical engineering is not that developed compared to Taiwan. And I've noticed that you are more focused on some specific applications. In Poland, we are performing some tests, some preliminary tests, mainly for preparing some papers to build our achievements in terms of the educational things. So we are not that focused on some specific applications or some specific biomaterials. So also, it might be a problem that we don't have a lot of companies which are right now in the market and the top of them. So I'm looking for some collaboration abroad. And thanks to my government of my university that there is the arrangement between our university, so I could came here and start the collaboration with Taipei. So your labs are very well equipped, so you have a chance. I have a chance here to perform a lot of tests. So I hope we will start with some preliminary tests, but after that it will be a chance to expand this collaboration and put some new products on the market. So I hope this collaboration is for some years, not for this time only.
All right, thank you. I think we all know the target you want to achieve. For the healthcare industry or biotechnology industry in Taiwan. But I think the most difficult part is go there. It sounds easy, but it's the most difficult part. And in recent years, my strategy is we look at the medical device we use in Taiwan. I find out for the high level, for example, the Class 3 medical devices, I think maybe 50% or more than 60% are all imported, all are foreign products. All right. And one feature of Taiwanese business is the small and medium enterprises. I mean, I always say, or compare to the companies in Korea, right? They are all big companies. You can see them everywhere in the Southeast Asia, all around the world. But we don't have that in Taiwan. Okay, so my strategy is in these 3 years is try to help our sales channels to build up our own brand name in Taiwan first. Okay, like the old textbook in Taiwan, we say the 进口替代. Okay, we want to replace the foreign product first. The next step is 出口扩张. Then we can expand our market into international society. So that's my strategy. Although there are also some innovative companies, they target for the national market first. But the weakness is the lack of track record of their old products. Alright, and for those medical devices or used in the patients, it's kind of high risk. And there are also some competitive products already in the market. So how can you persuade the doctors to replace their medical device to use yours? That's a major problem. I don't think technology is an issue. We can always manufacture those products, and we can get a license. How to sell it is also that's very difficult, right? So I'm wondering, I want to raise a question. What do you think Taiwanese company or research institutes' role in those international biotechnology business? For example, there are only those big names, Johnson & Johnson, Medtronic, Medica, all those, they can sell worldwide. So from the viewpoints of US, if you want to collaborate with Taiwan, what will be the first step?
Yeah, no, great question. I think there's a few angles to think about that. I'll start with the challenging part and then work backwards because of course the U.S. healthcare market is huge, and I think there's every healthcare company in the world wants to be in the U.S. market. The U.S. healthcare market's also really challenging, and the combination of regulatory landscape, reimbursement landscape, makes it not easy at all. Especially compared to single payer systems or more streamlined healthcare systems around the world. That being said, I think there's so much opportunity for identifying innovations wherever they are and finding ways to combine them for a global market. And so I think that's where working backwards from the challenges, I think the early opportunities are finding research collaborations, identifying research institutions that can do work across borders. I think that's a great starting point. Leveraging different populations for clinical trials. And that's something that we do really well in the US because we have such a diverse population. Even in Los Angeles, where I am, literally the entire world's population is in LA. So you can do clinical trials that represent the world. But as you're trying to identify deeper data sets, finding ways to collaborate on clinical trials around the world in local markets in ways where you start to understand not just how will these technologies work with that population, but also how can those technologies, how can those services, how can those products be sold into those markets? And you mentioned a little bit about the selling piece. Healthcare is one of these spaces where it's not just enough to, as we say, build a better mousetrap. This is not just about innovation. It's also about finding ways that this innovation can fit into an existing system, which means working with local physicians, working with local researchers, working with the local business community to find ways that your technology actually can be delivered to patients, can be delivered and support physicians, can be delivered and support other partners in the healthcare ecosystem in a way that
it's complicated, but ultimately, I think, as I look around the room here and see all the people I've talked to, there are people from the world who are here. So it's a really good starting point to build some of those bridges.
Yeah, I think several years ago, the Taiwanese government tried to promote the so-called CDMO for biotechnology, the contract research and contract development and manufacturing organization. But from this year, and then also we have a lot of Indonesia friends saying, okay, Professor Fang, you develop something, please come to Indonesia for manufacturing, because the low tariff, the very popular issues. But now, I mean, the President Trump has a lot of rules for different countries. So it's kind of previous the lower cost, maybe no longer low. Okay, so do you have any ideas about this?
My idea is wait for 3 more years, right? So certainly I live in the DC area, and trust me that certainly things in the past few months have impacted a lot of people's life in our area. A lot of friends working for federal government or defense contractor have lost their jobs. But aside from that, I don't know how much I can add to that because I'm really in the software business. But really, I think for medical devices, certainly my own opinion is because we're dealing with people's lives. So, and every country has a lot of regulations. So I think it will be more challenging, right, to go to another foreign market, right? Because maybe Taiwan, okay, you reach this certain threshold, you pass. Maybe you go to US, you doesn't reach this, no, you go back, you push back another 3 years, right? It could be quite challenging, right? But still, at the end of the day, I would say Taiwan is very vibrant. We have a very good universal healthcare. I think the government and in the academic areas, and they are all on it, right? We want to find our second moat. Other than semiconductors, I think bio industry is our next moat, right? So I think to go into any new market, it's like for kids in the US when you apply for college admissions, right? So my kids went through that. Is how you tell your own story, right? It's very important. Is how you deliver your story. This certainly is more than a 30 seconds elevator pitch, but is what can you do, right? What does your product do? And what value do you bring to the table? Certainly with the landscape now in the US, I will say everything they're talking about it's all for America. So I will say any competition that in President Trump's mind that can challenge the local business is going to be hard, right? So I don't like it. It really kills competition around the world. There's nothing I can do. But I think as far as what we can do, we can only do what we can control, right? Try to continue, innovate, try to solve problems. US is only 350 million people, right? The world has 6.2 billion. There's plenty of opportunity out there. I hope President Trump understands that, right? So certainly, I think there's plenty of opportunities. I know Dr. Fang and his passion, his vision, and the whole industry is so vibrant. With our moat, which is our people, you guys, and the supply chain, and the support from the government. There's no reason, right? We won't miss.
All right, thank you. Maybe let me switch the gear a little bit. All right, it's too serious. Okay, and in recent years, I think Taiwan, we have a less and less population. And in campus, we we kind of welcome more international students coming to our university. I mean, not only from Southeast Asia, my observation is also from a lot from Europe, and also a lot of exchange program from US, especially for those learning Chinese program. All right, kind of switch to Taiwan. And so now the international collaboration in higher education is also very critical in Taiwan. We have so many universities, but we have less and less children. But we need a lot of talents to develop the high-tech technology, including our biotechnology. All right, and so from the viewpoint of European and from Indonesia, how do you think to build up the collaboration in terms of talent development? With Taiwan.
So I think that actually you should start with the small steps, with making some collaborations with maybe small universities, because I think you shouldn't be focused only on big companies or big universities, because at the smaller ones, there are also people who have good ideas and they are even more open for collaboration. So for example, I come from rather small university at the north part of Poland. So we are more interested in collaboration than the biggest universities, because they are very well equipped labs and so on. So I think you should try to look some collaborations at smaller universities and companies, because your labs are very well equipped. It's a great environment for performing some biological tests. So that's the reason why I'm here, for example. And I think that people here are very open, and you should maybe try to work on the trust by long-term collaboration with the small steps. Small project, after that maybe a bigger project or some commercialization step for putting something into the market. But I think that the Taiwan is a great environment for make that kind of collaboration. So maybe you should work a little bit on the advertisement more to be better known in Europe.
Thank you. Andri, how do you think?
Okay. In terms of the young generations that will take this field, I think right now Taiwan offers a lot of programs that offers for the international students, like from Indonesia, to come to Taiwan. A lot of, I think, like TEP or IIP or TIGP. Yeah, Taiwan offers a lot. And I hear the news, some university in Taiwan has been merged due to some reasons. But actually, as we know that Indonesia is the fourth largest population in the world. And right now, the young generations is dominant in Indonesia. It means that the age for the university is very high in compare with the old generation. Yeah. So, the government said that the 1 year's Indonesia 2045, after our independence, the youth population is on the very critical mass of the population. So yes, we prepare for it, and for the talents, I think in terms of Taiwan and Indonesia relations, I think Indonesia has been used the Taiwan program for a long time, since I was a PhD here. And I think some talent has already, the goals for the talents, we can see a lot of good talents in Indonesia in respect with the university or research. So we can prepare for it. I hear if I'm not wrong, the TSMC or semiconductor company has set the programs, like for the undergraduate or for the students to learn about the semiconductors. Then I think maybe if you want to, prepare the talents for the graduate student for the biomedicals, so per the same program or the same project. Yeah. So preparing the youth generation is very important because they will take this issue as soon as.
All right. I think right now those audience sitting here, most of them are graduate students. All right. I think we should tell them something. And I know Dave is a Stanford alumni, right? And TJ has two daughters, Princeton. All right. One daughter in Princeton alumni, and also another one is going to Princeton. I think they're pretty. I know those in U.S. education system, although it's very expensive, but the education really develop very top tier talents. All right, and we do have a lot of hardworking graduate students, especially in Taipei Tech. All right, and I'm wondering if you can take the chance, give them some, suggestions. They are still young, 22, 23. For the future careers, what can they take care? All right, what should they, do in the future? Yeah.
Yeah. For graduate students, I think, in my experience, they need to know what they are good at. And I think they have to focus on their subjects and, of course, see the opportunity. Because the world will offer a lot of opportunities, but, you have to prepare yourself, soft skills, hard skills, and that's the things the graduate student must prepare. So, know yourself and see the opportunity outside. I think that's the best things that we can do for now. Yeah.
I'll let you go first. Stanford, man. Stanford alumni, go first. It's a long time ago, but I think we've already talked about a few of the ideas. I think we've got a great representation of international connectivity here, and so I would say seek out those opportunities, whether it's finding ways to collaborate with people from other countries who are here, finding opportunities to go other places. Do that as early as you can, as often as you can, because those relationships will come back over your life. Look for organizations that are outside your school that can provide opportunities. One that I know has presence in Taiwan is a program called Nucleate, which is a few years old, was started by George Church and some students in the Boston area, and it brings together the business side and the science side of life sciences and healthcare innovation, and they've now got chapters around the world. Everyone should get involved with Nucleate. I think it's one of the best ways to start to build a business, start to build relationships. So look for that. And then I think, really, this is we've all self-selected in some ways. We're involved in biotech, we're involved in healthcare. That's probably the largest industry in the world in many measures. It's certainly the largest expenditure in the US and, large expenditure other places, but it's also an incredibly impactful area. And so continue to find ways to, whether you're on the business side, the science side, the medical side, find ways to deliver impact and keep on measuring. Are you delivering impact? Are you doing more than you did before? And you can really change the world that way.
Wow, change the world, right? It's a big topic. So like Dr. Finn said, Certainly my kids, they were all born in the US. Education system is very different. Just share with you some of my experience. When I first got to the US, I always think US education sucks. Okay, you look at those elementary school kids, the multiplication table, 9九乘法表, right? They go to like 3rd grade or 4th grade, right? Do that. In Taiwan, 1st grade, everybody gets 9九乘法表, right? But then the older I get, right, the more I appreciate. And if you really look at their education system, the hardest part of your education system is in undergraduate. So in Taiwan, at our age, we call university 有你玩4年, right? Because we work very, very hard when we're in high school, right? To pass the test. Our time is July 1st and 2nd, right? So my time was 甲乙丙丁, okay? No kidding. You know how old I am, right? And then once you get in, it's like, oh, now we work so hard, we're gonna have fun. Right? In the US, it's total opposite. Right? Tuition is very expensive, right? And certainly I talk about top tier students. They know we're paying this money. We are here to receive education. We're here to learn. And they will demand professors to deliver that value and pay. It's very different. Right here, whatever professor said, teacher say, yes, sir. Right? You believe they are right. US students, they don't think that. They slack off, they will tell the professor, you slack off. Just recently, a Columbia student suing Columbia. She wants her tuition back because the professor used ChatGPT to do the PowerPoint. And she said, you told us we cannot use ChatGPT to do our homework, and you use that yourself. So she's suing the university, right? I want my tuition back. So I think no matter what you do, what makes you successful? A few things. It's your attitude, the type. Right? I think that goes with you. Doesn't matter what you do. Right? First, find your passion. At least that's what I believe. A lot of the people, they go do this. At the end of the day, maybe when they are 30, 40, they come back to what they love. I will certainly, the sooner you can find out what you love, the better. Right? So in the US universities, many universities, they will give you 2 years before you declare your major. So they always encourage you, try to take any courses that you think is fun. Maybe even music. Maybe it's public policy. Maybe it's chemistry. Maybe it's bio. So they want to give you opportunity to find out what you want. And then in your junior, senior year, and maybe graduate, you focus on your major. Right? So I certainly hope that first, find your passion. Only when you have passion, you can do a good job. I always say in the past, I said, okay, you don't want to work so hard to become mediocre. Right? Because sometimes you just don't have that. Just because everybody's doing CS. Oh, I'm going to do CS. And then you work so hard. You just write crappy code. And there are people, they just born with computer science. They look at it, it's so simple, right? Half an hour, they write beautiful code. You can not, everything just works. Right? That's their passion. Right? Those people, if they work hard, trust me, you can never beat them. Right? So first, if you can find your passion, the sooner you can, the better. And focus on your passion. Secondly, try to find your team. And then the people you pick around you to be your friends. I don't want to sound very 功利, but they should encourage each other. Not tonight, where are we going? 钱柜还是哪里？然后吃麻辣. But some friend who can encourage each other about your career. Right? 忠言逆耳. Right? Sometimes, most of you don't believe what your parents tell you, but you will believe you will listen to what your friends tell you. So find good friends. Right? That's certainly, good friends will impact your life a lot. And positive, right, energy. Dr. Fang say 2 things to be successful. One is be curious. Always be curious about certain things. So I also say, even if you have your major, you want to think something outside your major. You always, any stranger you talk to, you will learn something. Right? So we have our saying, 三人行必有我师. 真的, anybody you talk, today I come here, I learn. Every day, when you talk to anyone, doesn't matter. 也许是帮你服务的服务生，或者 any conversation you engage, you might learn something. Right? You might start your 斜杠人生, maybe eventually you combine certain, maybe somebody says something, and then combining what you do becomes a very unique idea. Right? Always be open-minded. Right? So, find your passion, and also, if you want to own a business, it's a lonely journey. You always look at people who are successful. Oh, look at Meta, Zuckerberg, look at Bill Gates. Have you seen the days they were at Harvard? How hard did they work? Everybody succeeds because you never know the effort they put. And also, 99.99% company who fail, you don't see. Right? So, start a company, you need to have the right passion, right idea, right market, and right team. One person goes very fast. A team of people will go a long way, will go long. Right? So that's my advice. But always be positive. You never fail. You just have not succeeded yet. Right? Just think about that. 你只是还没有成功，你没有失败。Because every failure, if you look at it that way, is your teacher, is a lesson to avoid. Right? And also talk to people with experience, right? Can give you something to avoid. Right? Because if your direction is wrong, doesn't matter how hard you do it, you're wrong. You can work 28 hours a day. You're going nowhere if your direction is wrong. So always be open-minded. Talk to other people, especially people with experience. He will help you. Okay?
All right, before I keep going, if any of you have any questions or comments, please let us know. It's an opportunity. I think you never raise a question in front of so many people, right? Okay. And I think the second thing TJ want to mention, one is be curious, right? And I think the other one is be confident. Right? Be confident first. I don't think you cannot do it, alright? I always criticize about the TV news in Taiwan about the Olympic Games. We always say, okay, at least they will win the bronze medal. I hate that sentence, We need a gold medal. You always set the target as a gold medal. I studied in US for 9 years. The first place, the gold medal, is everything. No one cares about the second place, right? Okay, so be confident. Talk to yourself. You want to be the winner. And then think about the strategy. If you only want to win the bronze medal, I think the best you can win is bronze medal. All right. So be confident. Of course, there's always a lot of hurdles in front of you. Especially if you want to become an entrepreneur. You want to start up your company. And there's a lot of issues you will never know in advance. All right. But when you meet the problem, how do you handle it? I think is the issue. That's how, recent days we have the AI, right? I think a lot of people will lose their job because they say, okay, for example, I told you a very recent story. You saw I wrote a new book, right? All the cartoons inside the book, I did it from the ChatGPT. Yeah, I did it from the ChatGPT. Because one day, the publisher provided an example of the cartoon to me by someone. I said, oh, it's so ugly. Then I just tried it in 2 days. I have like 30 or 40s. All right. although I'm very bad in drawing, but with the tools, nowadays you can solve a lot of issues, a lot of problems. Okay, so any problem, any questions?
Let me add one more thing, right? Confident. If you are not even confident in yourself, how can you pitch your idea? Try to sell your company to him. Hey, I want to raise 1.5. And then you say, oh, Dave, I think our company has a very good product. Versus, Dave, our company has the best product that nobody else has. If you're not confident, how you convince other people when you are speaking in that tone? I feel like you are not even confident about yourself. Why would I invest in you? Right? Think about it. And in the US, right now, this is the time you got this expert here. This is the time ask questions, right? This is, so don't be shy, right? Another thing, cannot be shy. Want to be successful? Be bold. Only when you ask questions, you get the answers.
Yes, the first 3 questions, I will give you my book. Alright, how about that? Alright, oh, okay, I see. That's the way.
That's great.
Okay, thank you all the professors and mentors. It's really impressive advices. And now I have a scenario is for my lab because recently we just throwing a startup to the incubator but related to AI. So do we need to follow the trend or just stick to what we have? Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Well, it's a good question because, especially mentioning AI, for the past several years, there was, in healthcare and in almost any tech industry, we saw lots of people who were sending in business plans that were all about blockchain. And, everything was, blockchain version of this or, solving this with blockchain. And then a year and a half ago, a bunch of entrepreneurs almost literally did a search and replace in their PowerPoints and replaced blockchain with AI. So now they're solving this with AI and that with AI. That's not the answer. But I think finding ways to leverage new innovations is almost always the right thing. But I think your question actually has the answer in that you really do want to find a way to differentiate what you're doing. And, sometimes that's based on the technology you're using. So sometimes it could be, we have this AI approach to this and there's innovation in that can be the centerpiece of your story. Sometimes it's going to be a unique way of solving the problem. And so, AI is one of the tools that you use, just like other expertise would be parts of the tools that you use. But I think it really comes down to, continuing to tell that story and getting feedback about what does stand out. And you've got to understand the competition. You have to understand, even as you're talking about the frenemies, right? So there are some collaborators out there. There are competitors finding ways to both work with them, but stand out. And you're going to keep on doing that. And you're going to keep on getting better at that story. It goes back to the confidence that they were talking about as well. Keep working that story, keep finding ways to make sure that you do stand out and take every piece of feedback that you get from an investor or a partner, because they're often seeing things that you don't see, and they might see positives in your story that you aren't thinking about. They also might see negatives that you aren't thinking about. Take the feedback from both of those and do it better each time.
Hello, I'm wondering if I want to become an entrepreneur, and is this a great time to pick a friend in the university to build up my team? Is it a great time before graduation?
Build with a co-founder or a team, and you referred to the African proverb about if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I think the idea of finding the right people that you can work with is always a good idea. And when you were in school, you will never have better opportunities to meet great people, to be able to reach out and gather people around you to work on things. So I would say absolutely take advantage of that. You don't have to start a company with them. Maybe you just collaborate with them on ideas. Maybe they become part of your informal advisory board, or, you have a co-working group that, works together. But whatever you're doing, you are surrounded by more amazing people right now than, you might be for the rest of your life. And so find ways to leverage that to move things forward.
Let me add to this. Certainly my personal experience or the friends around me or colleagues that I see. When you start a company, find the right team is the most important thing. Okay, certainly I'm in the more on the software business, a little bit different. But I always, my personal opinion now, if I can go back, what I would like to change, if I can go back in time, is you got to find somebody who can push your brand and the product. You need a salesperson. All right? Now, the salesperson can be you. If you are a technology person, you need to find a salesperson. Okay? A lot of people, they are very great talent into coding, but they have no way of trying to sell the company, sell the idea. Right? And then they will ask you, but how much is it going to cost? They think about it, 20 hours. Salesperson will say, this is 2,000 hours. No kidding. Right? So you need to find the right team. And another thing is very, very important. When you don't have money, everybody works damn hard. Okay? 24 hours a day. Because there's nothing to share. Right? Everybody can work really hard. The problem comes when the company starts making money. And your friend is going to say, if you don't have anything black and white, maybe I'm in the US for so long. We know Taiwan, we are all friends and buddies, right? A lot of times, sort of people are very shy to talk about how much percentage you have, what's your responsibility. You have to have agreement in place at the beginning stage. Otherwise, when you're not making money, no problem. Everybody say, I'm going to work 24 hours. We're going to try to push the product. Once the investor give you, okay, here's $2 million. Now, your partner says, okay, let's pay ourselves $200 each first because we have done all this. And then you're going to say, no, this money needs to go invest, right? We need to bring the partner in here. Or, how much is your salary? How much is my salary? I can tell you, problem comes when you are making money. And so you have to really, really make sure you have those things in black and white. You have 5%, you have 5%. You don't want someone come back like the NBA players and say, oh, you signed a contract, but now I'm sitting out, I'm not playing because this person makes more than I do. Right? So I will certainly, yes, find the right team member. You have to have sales. No matter what, you don't need to have people who can do the research, but someone needs to sell the idea today. Right? So someone needs to know how to write a proposal. So tell the story right. And once you get the money, somebody needs to actually push this, try to find partners, right? Try to hire advisors, right? Or try to go to trade shows. What's the go-to-market strategy? Somebody needs to handle that. And it shouldn't be the technical person, right? So if you want to own the company yourself, you got to be the salesperson. Or you have to find a salesperson. And then you focus maybe on product development or research. Okay, so it's never too late or too early to find, but again, the most important thing is to find the right team and make sure everyone's responsibility and their shares, you gotta put it in black and white. Very important. It's women in Chinese, 丑话要说在前面，真的，不然到最后 I've seen so many problems when company starts making money and then the friends become enemies. Why you are making, $3 million a year and I'm 300,000. Right? So you don't have those in paper, it go to court or it's a big mess. That's US. That's how they do it. You don't have to like it, but certainly I think you should do it that way. Everything needs to be in writing. Because in the US, lawyers make a lot of money because everybody can sue anybody for anything. I'm not kidding, right? There are so many things that all, you're right? So anybody can sue anybody for anything.
But I think today we talk from the, biomaterials, biotechnology, collaborations, then to the, education issues. Then finally, I think 2 questions about the entrepreneur, the startup companies. I think no matter from the strategy, also the real experiences. Maybe we have 10 more minutes. I will say, okay, maybe each of you can give us some take-home message from today's conversation, or there's something deep in your mind you want to share to us on this occasion. Then, okay. So maybe from Professor Pawłowski.
So my advice is that you should find the right people who are sharing the same ideas, and you shouldn't be afraid to get out from the comfort zone, even if you have to travel at the next part of the world, like me, because I had to travel for 24 hours almost. So you have to be brave and find the right people and follow your dreams. To develop something new in biomedical engineering industry. I think that the most important is to make proper contacts and think about the future profits which you can obtain from these connections. So if you have a chance to go on a conference, you should go. If you had a chance to do some workshops, do this and should go as far as you can. Please go outside just for a moment, Taiwan, and see the world, how they are doing different things, and then try to do it better, or try to take different things from them and start to develop your own businesses.
Thank you. Andri? Yeah, I think all of the great motivation has been delivered by the speakers here. But yeah, again, just know yourself and see the opportunity, and that's the way we can go further. And again, the knowledge is power, but character is more. So attitude also very important in this way. Just think positive, and yeah, I think a lot of opportunity we can get in the future. Yeah.
David?
Yeah, all great points. I think, you've heard some wisdom and ideas from the group here. And I think one of the themes that we've all said is that, we're constantly out there learning and growing. And so, you're not at the end of any journey. You're really at the beginning of a journey. And so, just always keep an open mind, always keep learning, always keep doing different things. Both in the industry as well as outside the industry. So, you mentioned taking music classes and things in college. Don't stop doing that even when you're deep in the science or deep in the business. Find ways to, expand your horizons. And then, by the way, travel does that a lot. So you travel to a different country and you're automatically learning and putting yourself in new modes. So just keep doing that and have fun doing it.
All right, some takeaways, right? So, as a father myself, at my age now, every move I make is very conservative, right? And you guys, first of all, for you guys to be sitting here, you're already a winner. You are not out there doing something, have fun, summers, right? So you are here to learn something, right? So already coming with a great attitude. Now, at your guys' age, you can take bold moves. Okay, you can take much bigger risks, right, than I do. So be bold, right? Chase your dreams, right? No dream is too small. Because you guys, your biggest asset is time. That I don't have, but you guys do. Right? Second thing, money doesn't grow on trees. 天上不会掉馅饼. When you see someone succeed, you don't see the effort they put behind the scene. You don't see, right? I always tell my kids, the effort you put in your whole life is the same. Either you want to do it now when you are in the teenagers or in your 20s, or you do it in the 50s and the 60s. Right? Your total effort needs to be the same. You put your effort now, you will enjoy when you get older. Right? You have to make the effort. Right? Opportunities are only for the people who are ready for it. All right? Most of the people, 99.999%, they succeed. There's no luck. There's no luck because they were ready when the opportunity knocks on the door. All right? You got to make the effort. You have to work hard. All right?
Yeah, TJ, you remind me, I mean, when I was in my 20s, I should do more, you know. Right? And I think my suggestion is the same. Be confident, be curious when you are, especially when you are young. And the lesson I learned today is making friends all the time. I mean, if you don't want, you should also take your parents' words into consideration. Don't just totally against that, all right? But anyone who can give you comments, that's some of your treasure, all right? You can choose from them, then the decisions from you is your decision, okay? So take the time, I mean, these 4 days, go around the exhibitions, ask people, and maybe share your ideas with some others, see how they think. And you may listen to the quite different view of opinions, right? But after that, I think you should spend some time, think about it, make your own decision, all right? So, and one important thing, maybe you can buy my book, or I read a little bit. I mean, very good stories. I mean, all right. Also, we have a lot of posters here. Good technologies. All right, and that's what I think. And I think you guys can find me if you still have anything. Write me an email or something. Okay, and I think we kind of, time is up. We kind of ended this symposium. Okay, maybe time back to you, Tiffany.
Well, thank you for all speakers. Please give a big round of applause. Thank you everyone. The front camera. Thank you everyone. Thank you.